In this training, you're going to learn 4 different visualization techniques that you can use as an athlete. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com, and visualization is one of the most powerful mental training skills that you can learn as an athlete. The reason being, visualization allows you to train in the safety of your mind. Whenever we're talking about performing better under pressure, trying to build confidence, reducing this anxiety that you feel before you perform, when you're trying to do those things in the heat of competition, it can be very, very difficult. Luckily, we have the safety of our minds where in the comfort of your home, maybe in the locker room, maybe sitting on the bench or during warm-ups before the game begins, you can actually rehearse what you're going to do. Now, the way that you rehearse is going to be different dependent upon what you're actually trying to achieve through this visualization. But at the core, the principle of visualization is that you are creating a scene within your mind. Now, this scene, you need to make sure that you're going into detail with the scene. In addition to the detail, you want to bring emotion into it. Because when you're doing visualization, the one thing that you have to remember is, how can I make this visualization just like real life? And no matter what sports you play, no matter what you're doing, if you are performing, there is going to be detail and there is going to be emotion. So if you want to make this visualization real, you have to bring detail into it, meaning who is there? Where are you playing? What situation are you in? What skill are you actually doing? That's what happens when you are thinking about the detail. Bring everything into it. Imagine, what all am I seeing? What am I hearing? I'm going to bring that into this visualization. Now, on the other side, we have emotion. The emotion aspect is going to be, what kind of emotions do you typically feel in that situation? What kind of emotions do you want to feel in that situation? How would you feel, or how do you want to feel after you succeed? So that feeling of success whenever you've performed really well. So those are the 2 things to keep in mind as you learn these 4 different visualization techniques. Make sure you are going into detail, and then make sure you bring emotion into it. The first visualization technique is visualization to perform better under pressure. As an athlete, there are so many situations where you're going to find yourself in pressure. And the top elite athletes, no matter what sport you play, they are able to handle pressure. Not only are they able to handle pressure, but they are able to excel under pressure. So your aim should be, how can I make sure that I am performing better under pressure? When we're thinking about visualization, we want to make this pressure situation comfortable to you, because pressure situations, a lot of times they are unique. You're not familiar with them, so they take you completely out of your game plan, out of your mindset, and they are this foreign thing. If we can use visualization where you imagine yourself in a pressure-filled situation and you see yourself succeed, well, that's going to help reduce that anxiety and that pressure that you feel in that moment. A little side note here, with all of these visualization techniques, the key is to start the same, where you're going to sit down in a chair just like I'm doing right now, close your eyes, and then maybe take 10 to 20 deep breaths. The reason you want to take these deep breaths is to really calm your mind and get yourself in a nice and relaxed state to where you'll be able to perform this visualization. Now, with the visualization for performing well under pressure, you first want to get yourself into that calm mindset and then create the scene where you normally feel pressure. But then here's the key. When you create that scene where you normally feel pressure, you need to feel the anxiety, the tension, the self-doubt that you normally feel in that moment. I know that sounds a little odd, but just bear with me. So you want to feel that feeling, right? Get yourself really anxious, really nervous. Then what you're going to do is flip it. So now, feel how you want to feel. Feel confident. Feel very relaxed. Feel so sure that you are going to be able to come through. Then what you do is you imagine yourself performing your skills. See yourself perform, see yourself do it perfectly to your standards, and then feel successful, feel confident, and that visualization is done. The second visualization technique is visualization for skill mastery. Visualization for skill mastery is where you use this concept of visualization in addition to your actual training. So let's say you're a baseball player, for example. You want to improve your skill of fielding ground balls and throwing to first base and hitting the first baseman right in the chest. Well, you're going to be doing ground ball drills, you're going to be taking ground balls on the field, you're going to be doing all those things in real life. Visualization allows you to do an additional layer of training. So what you're going to do is you can imagine yourself fielding ground balls, throwing to first base. Fielding ground balls, throwing to first base. This is doing two things. Number one, it is increasing your confidence in that skill. The more confident you're going to be in that skill, the better you're going to be able to actually perform that skill. In addition to that, it is strengthening the neural connections in your mind that are going to actually be involved in fielding that ground ball. The reason we know this is because a study was done, I'll put a link to it in the description below, of weightlifters who weightlifted and they did this test and they saw that when they were weightlifting, the same neural pathways were firing as another group who was just visualizing themselves doing these weight lifts, but they weren't actually performing the lifts. So it shows us that these connections in our brain, they are firing in a very similar manner to when we do something in real life. So that's how you can perform visualization for skill mastery. A third technique is performing visualization for relaxation. This visualization for relaxation, it comes in two different forms. Number one is you're going to be doing the formal visualization where you sit in a chair, you close your eyes, and then you imagine a relaxing scene. So think for yourself, where are you the most relaxed? What are you doing? Who's there? What's going on around you? And then most importantly, what does that feeling of relaxation feel like? So you perform that visualization. Then what you're going to do with this is as a game is about to begin, or in the middle of a game when you're feeling pressure, you think about that scene. You don't have the luxury right now of closing your eyes and going into a formal visualization right before the game starts or when the game's starting or when you're standing on the free throw line getting ready to take that shot. But what you can do is imagine that scene, and the more you have visualized that scene, the more you have strengthened the connection between that scene and this relaxing state. So then when you just imagine it during the game or before the game, that's going to help you get into that relaxing state. And then the last visualization technique is visualization to help when you're injured. Whenever you're injured, it can be so frustrating and so difficult to be able to keep that level of confidence in yourself and your play so that when you do return, you're just as confident as you were when you left. Because you are injured, so you're going to be doubting your abilities because of the injury. You're also going to be doubting your abilities because of the time that you had to stay away from your sport. With visualization when you're injured, you can take a similar approach to visualization for skill mastery, and you can visualize yourself performing drills. You can also visualize yourself performing games, seeing yourself succeed, seeing yourself perform perfectly, feeling successful, feeling confident. And then in addition to that, you can also visualize yourself performing healthy. You can feel yourself be healthy. That's going to help encourage you, help push you through those frustrating times when you're feeling really down, you're feeling depressed because of this injury. You're going to be visualizing, keeping that positive mindset, knowing that I'm going to come back. And not only am I going to come back, but through this visualization work, I'm going to come back almost even more confident. So those are the 4 visualization techniques that you can use as an athlete. I encourage you to make use of them, practice them. Repetition is key, consistency is key, and they can have an incredible amount of benefit on you and your game. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do. I hope you enjoyed this training, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We put out new trainings each week on sports psychology and the mental game to help you build a championship mindset. If you have any questions about sports psychology, about this training, or if there are any topics that you want me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about myself, Success Starts Within, or any of the services that we offer, please visit successstartswithin.com. Once again, thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.